time we talk about, the shift in what needs to happen and letting people go. But I think we also need to highlight the grief that happens from that place, right?
Mm.
Because sometimes, you will need to, I call it a season of separation. It doesn't mean that it's always forever, and doesn't mean that you know, it will last forever. But you might have to go through that season. Not might. If you're on the journey that God has called you to, you're going to go through that season where God is going to separate you, where either you're going to make the decision or He's going to make the decision for you.
Mhm.
And one of the things I tell people, man, is that God will give people the strength to leave you when you don't have the strength to leave them, and you'll be devastated. Man, why they, because I'm I'm telling you what I'm experiencing right now. Like, you be in that season, you be like, man, why? Like why everybody leaving me? Why everybody, and it's really orchestrated and ordained by God for those things to happen. A lot of times, like, when we're going through the valley of the transition of life and the ebbs and flows of life, we think that, losing everything and all of that stuff is about us. It's really about the people that are around you, so that God can shake up your circle so that you don't have the wrong people around you when you make it to your destination. And so, yeah, there is a cutting off that you will have to do, and you're going to grieve that. There's a cutting off that other people will make the decision to say, hey, I ain't fooling with you no more. Where you are is not where I am, and so forth and so on. And that's a cut off situation. You got to grieve that. And then there's just some time of isolation. A lot of us that say, that, before elevation, there's a season of separation, and isolation. And so before God begins to elevate, I think that He separates. And, we see that through the parable in the wheat and the tare. We see that, like I was just talking about with Joseph, and you kind of, you have to almost endure before you enjoy.
Mm.
And so,